Where are you right now?
Yeah, I'm in San Francisco, but just in my bedroom. It's just kind of chilly.
So you're based out of San Francisco, or you keep traveling? Because
Yeah, no, I'm in San Francisco, and then we'll go to LA like once a month or every other week, kind of with the team.
is it because of office or?
For client, like that's where
Oh,
their office is, so that's where we'll go. Yeah,
okay. So how's the
yeah.
weekend going? How does a weekend look like for Nico?
For Nico, the weekend is going good. Um, Last night got some drinks with some friends, and
Ah,
then went to this like bar in Chinatown here. Um,
okay.
so that was fun, and then I got some Mexican food. So solid start to the weekend, and then today we've got a it's like the air show in San Francisco. So they have like all these like jets and like military
Okay.
planes like doing like demonstrations.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Is
It's
it
pretty
like
good.
a
So
regular event or?
no, it's like once a year. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. I think they do it in India as well. Bangalore is the place in India where they do it once in a year.
Oh yeah,
It's pretty cool. Yep.
yeah. Are you near Bangalore?
Yeah, I am in Bangalore.
Nice. Have you lived there your whole life?
Yes, been born and brought up here. So
Nice.
So, Nico, let's start the show. So, before we get into the things of matter, a brief introduction about yourself for all our listeners.
Yeah, of course. So I am Niko Arsic, like I said, based in San Francisco. Originally from Chicago, um, but have lived in San Francisco now for 2 years. Really enjoying it. It's a beautiful city. Um, I think that today will be kind of focused more on music and like DJing. So we'll definitely get to talk more about that and some of the experience I had. But overall, really excited to be on the show.
I am very excited to host you because I've interacted with quite some guests on this podcast, but never with someone who's related to music or DJing, as so
Yes.
it's called. So, I am very excited for this
Yeah, yeah.
because I'm a total noob in DJing. For me, DJing was, very exciting. So, how do you get into it? Like, was it always since your childhood, or how do you get into it?
Yeah, so the first time I did it was in like middle school, so around sixth grade. Um,
Oh,
I
that
went,
that is
yeah,
amazing because in India, at least, I don't think I never knew what DJing was back in sixth grade or until I was in college.
yeah, yeah. So I was like at one of my friends, his family would always have parties, but they had
Okay.
a board. And that's kind of the first time where I saw what it was, and I think his dad or even my friend would DJ these parties, and it was all like adults. So that kind of sparked something in me. It just was like a lot of fun, great atmosphere. But then I did like I would do like dances, school dances. I would like DJ those. But then I took a really long break. I didn't do it for almost like almost 10 years. I didn't do it at all through high school. But then right before the pandemic, I got my friend got a board, and it kind of reignited that interest.
Oh,
And I kind of was always bothering him about it, trying to borrow it. Um, but then when the pandemic happened, and we were all locked up at home, that's really when I started, and I was like, okay, now I have my own board. I ended up getting one, and it was time to just learn more about it and spend so many hours on YouTube.
why do you have a break in between? Was it because of studies or?
Honest, no, not really. It's just I asked my parents if I could get a board and in like sixth grade, but they thought
Oh,
it was just kind of like a phase, just like normal kids. So, like they jump
yeah.
on one thing and kind of fixate on that for a little, but then after it's over in like 2 weeks. So I think they thought it was that. So maybe they were right, because there were definitely other things like I want to be a drummer, but it's probably good I never bought a drum set. Like there was a lot of stuff like that where I would just like fixate on it, but that's kind of the reason for the hiatus. And then I always really liked the music, like electronic music. That's always kind of been my favorite genre. um,
Okay.
so I think just like once I got to university, that was like more of like what you would hear at parties and
Mhm.
stuff, and um, you'd see people DJing. So I kind of was like, why can't I be a DJ?
Oh, so cool. So how do you learn DJing? But before that, you got to tell our listeners what DJing is exactly. Because to be very honest, even I don't know what exactly it is at the core. So why don't you just
Yeah,
give us an intro of what is DJing actually is from a
yeah,
DJ?
yeah. Of course. So DJing is pretty much you. It'll be like a party or an event, and you'll have a piece of equipment. Usually it's just like a board that connects to your laptop. That's like the most common. And you'll have a software where you have all your music, and it's organized in a way that you decide. Basically, you can organize it by genre, by how fast the song is, by
Okay.
energy level. But basically, you're just transitioning from one song to the next song, and kind of keeping things consistent and I guess enjoyable to listen to. That's like the biggest thing.
And the board that you're referring to, is it the board with all the discs and where the DJ is rotating the discs, reducing the speed? Is
Yeah,
that what you're referring to?
yeah, yeah,
So I want to know a bit more about that, what exactly it is and how exactly things work. And if it is connected to a software, then what
yeah,
is the point of having a board?
yeah. So you need the board because um, it's definitely, you can definitely DJ off of a laptop, but it's pretty hard because it's not as intuitive. So on the
Okay.
board, you're able to control different layers of the song. So like the low end, the middle, and then the high end. So you're able to kind of tweak those, and it's easier just to mix two songs together on that because it's just very configurable. Um, and yeah, I would say the board is like a must, really.
So
Yeah.
when you say mixing of two songs, do you do it like on the go or is it like preset?
Yeah. So, like me personally, I don't have any preset mixes. Like some DJs will, if it's something that like just really works together, they'll maybe record it before they actually play it. So if it's a really great, maybe like hip hop uh, lyric, like verse, and then some house song, they'll slam them together, record it, and then it'll sound like very crisp. Because when you do it live, there's always that risk of it might not work out.
Yeah, but I reckon that is more hard, right? Doing it on the go, live,
Oh
I
yeah,
mean.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
So after your sixth grade, when was the first time like you actually DJ'd in a party?
I would say my second year of university. So, what is that? That's 2, 6. That's like 7, 8 years almost after sixth grade. So yeah, second year of university. That was the first time, and I'd only been DJing, like had my own equipment for like a month or two, but
Okay.
I tell everyone, if you get a board and just watch YouTube videos for 30 minutes a day, you can play at a bar or wherever,
Oh,
have a
that's how you
fun.
learned it as well?
Yeah, all through YouTube, like no
Okay.
classes or anything. There's a ton of stuff on YouTube. Um, just amazing videos. Shout out to Crossfader is the name of the channel. They
Oh,
teach so much stuff. Um, but then also just like watching like live sets, like DJs actually mixing, um, and just like seeing what they're doing live and hearing it as well. That was another way. But to answer your question, I'd say yeah, second year of university.
do you remember the party that you played at? How was the experience?
I do remember the party. I was pretty nervous because it was my first time playing in front of other people like that. I'd played in front of like friends and in my room, and people would come in and be like, "Oh, this is sick," and I'd be like, "Yeah." So that was fine, but actually like playing in front of other people and making sure people are fun, that was different. But I think it went all right. Definitely not like my best event that I've done, but I think for a first event it was cool, and um, it's great to have like support from friends there too. That's like a big confidence booster.
Definitely. So talking about your best event, which according to you is your best set till date?
Yep. So I played at this was in my last year, I believe. Yeah, last year of university. I would say the best one was for this mini festival that happened at my university called Ignition. Um, It was, I believe, like 8 different artists. So some DJs and like different types of music, but then there were also like live bands and stuff. But that was pretty cool because it was very well promoted. The guy who ran it did a really great job. He'd been doing it for a couple of years, so I knew it was something that I wanted to be a part of. But ended up playing in front of like 700 people on a stage, so that was pretty
Oh my
awesome.
god, that's
I would,
huge.
yeah, that was like probably my favorite.
So since both of us are techies, you have to take us through how technology plays a role in DJing, if at all it plays a role.
No, yeah, definitely. So like I mentioned, there's this software. So it gives you all the analysis of the music. So like the most basic thing is like the speed, the beats per minute is what that's referred
Okay.
to. So that's part of it. And then there's like the musical analysis that goes into it. So like what musical key it's in, because songs that are made in different keys won't always line up together if you want to mix them, just
Okay.
because sounds are different. But then I think like what's next is this like AI. Like I don't know how they're gonna do it, but like a song recommending software where basically it takes into account what you've played recently and what's maybe in your library and can kind of recommend what's next for you to play. I think like a lot of traditional DJs won't like that, but because it kind of takes away from like what's in here. But
Yep.
say that as a techie, that's probably where it's going to go, and big AI influence and just like helping DJs improve the experience.
What is your take on that? Do you think it's gonna help it, or do you think it's gonna change it for bad?
I think I think it's pretty cool because again, I'm like really into technology. It
Okay.
might take away. I mean, you still have that choice, right? You don't have to play the song. It's just a recommendation. So if you just want to keep choosing your own songs, or you could probably toggle it off. You could still do that. So I don't think it would hurt. It would help people trying to get started, and just help them get better and more confident. So I'm all about it.
So what is your music style? What kind of music do you like, and is it same since the day you started DJing, or is it progressing to something else?
Yeah, it's definitely changed. I would say once I started, it was more just like like I would say like David Guetta was like the first artist that I really liked in middle
Mhm.
school. But then like Tiesto, Calvin Harris, Avicii, Alesso, all those guys. Um, and that's kind of what you would hear at like bars too, going out, or on the
Right.
radio, that poppy stuff. But definitely, as I started playing more, I enjoyed listening to more underground type stuff. So some of my favorite types of music are probably like, I guess, I'm trying to think. Right now, like melodic techno is really famous. So that's pretty cool. But also just like tech house. I really like disco and like groovy music. That's one of my favorites. But I'd say right now I'm really enjoying house music that you would listen to on like a beach. So just it's things that remind you of like summer. That's probably what my favorite is.
So you have a show to perform. Walk us through the process of how you're gonna choose your songs and how you create a set and what
Yeah.
all things go behind.
Yeah. So, like I said, you have these playlists that you make. So before a show, I'll go ahead and make a playlist of like some of my favorite songs like I definitely want to play, um, and songs that I think people might like because you also need to like keep them interested. I will go through my library and really just add like I think I would add like enough music to play like three shows, like three times as much as I need to play just to have like a set library. But then once I start playing, like just pick and choose and see how it goes.
Why do you add like three times? Why is that?
Just in case like you might plan something. You might like say like, oh, I want to play this song, but then the way the show is going, the song, like you realize it might not fit in the moment, so then you need to have some type of backup. Yeah, and then other times you might realize like, oh, I'm just gonna like play this song. It won't be that big, but then like the crowd loves it, so then you need more songs like that. So it's like kind of
Oh.
dynamic. Want to keep readjusting and yeah, playing for the crowd.
So do you like playing for the crowd, or is it like you want to play it like to play it for yourself?
I mean, I think more so like I definitely like to play what I like. Um, I don't. I'm definitely not very selfless when it like it's. I would always want to play what I want to hear, but that's kind of why I liked doing the shows more too because I also worked at like bars, so call that like a
Yeah,
residency.
you have to tell
Would
us
do
more about this. This is very interesting.
Yeah. So it's kind of like like they're both DJing, but it's two very different types. Because at the bar, you need to play music that people want to listen to. You're going to play that more like commercial stuff, um,
Okay.
and you have to keep it light. You don't want to play some crazy music, and when people are just trying to relax or they want to maybe talk to each other. And then there also like you're like more in touch with the crowd. Like people
Yeah.
will come up to you and ask you for song requests, and you have to like keep
Yes.
people happy. Yeah, and then for the shows, I mean, obviously you're like on a stage, so no one can talk to you. Um, so that's why I like kind of use that opportunity. Like, okay, this is like where I'm gonna play most of the stuff that I want to play because no one can tell me that I can't.
So how was it working at a bar?
Yeah, it was good. So that's where I started. So I guess the timeline goes from like obviously starting in bedroom and just like practicing, but then going to like parties, like house parties, and then I started working at bars, just because at my
So is it
university.
because you wanted to play, you started working at a bar, or
Yeah, it just kind of seemed like the next like stepping stone, I guess, from like house parties because it was a way to like do it consistently, like on
okay?
a weekly basis, multiple times a week. Um,
Yep.
Also, it was just like a lot of fun. You get to go out, hang out with friends, bring people, to come DJ with you, um, and also get paid for it. So that was always nice. Um, but then from there, like you kind of start the way I got the shows is like knowing people from the bar who were planning these shows, and then they're like, "Oh, we know
Oh,
this guy." So it's kind of like gets you into that network and gets your name out there, and then like you become like a name on their list for people they want to have.
who's your favorite DJ
My
apart
favorite
from you,
DJ,
of course?
apart from yeah, myself, my favorite DJ is Eric Prydz. So he is a little older. He's like 45, but he's my favorite DJ for sure.
What's your favorite all-time favorite track?
Oh, that's a good question. People always ask me that, and I tell them it's like picking a favorite child. Um,
I'll tell you how you have to choose that. So it is that song which you have it in all your sets.
right. Hmm. I'll never have one song in every set, but definitely if I'm playing a lot, like in a month, I'll always play a song. So I'd say it changes a lot, but I don't think I have like a favorite song. More so, just like if we go back to my favorite artist, Eric Prydz, like I'll just listen to his. I have a playlist on my phone. It's literally just his music with like 30 songs. I'll just hit shuffle on that and listen to that all day.
Okay, let's change the question. Let's put it this way. Say, suppose now we want to listen to a track. Which track would you play right now? Like right now?
Right. Mm, I think. Right. So I'm thinking for today. Um, it's like today's really. I was talking kind of about that summery music that I really like. Today
Okay.
I think it looks nice out, so I think it's gonna be a beautiful day, sunny. I think for if I had to play one song, it would be Peter Haller's "Big Love." It's kind of a summery house song, and it's older. I think it's like from the '90s or like 2000s, but really love it. It's called, yeah. So Peter Haller's "Big Love."
So tell me one thing, how do you discover new music, or do you always have a standard set of playlist, or do you keep adding to the playlist?
Yeah, so definitely need to keep adding just because, trends will come and go. And, you want to keep things interesting for yourself too. So, um, I'll like throughout the day, I'll like, if I'm not, talking to anyone, like at work, for example, if I'm not on a call or anything, I'll be listening to music and I'll just hit like shuffle, on like Apple Music, just to like see what's new. Um, so that's like one way. The other way is like going to shows,
Okay.
just like seeing DJs play. And a lot of times, like the songs that you want, you'll like Shazam them, but they'll always be
Yep.
unreleased. So then you'll sit in shame. But sometimes you'll get some, so that's cool. Another great way is like there's these things called record pools. So what that is, it's like a subscription service, like $20 a month is usually what it is. But you're subscribed to the service that's constantly changing out the bucket of songs that they have.
Okay.
So it's a great resource for DJs because the alternative to that is like buying songs individually, which can get pretty expensive. Um,
Okay.
and and that's like what a lot of people do, but it gets pretty expensive. So you could subscribe to this pool, and pull from there. So just going through their like charts, seeing what they have, finding an artist that you like, seeing all the songs that they have there. Um, yeah, but those are the main ways. It's like going out just like by chance, I guess, listening, and then looking online like at these different websites.
So what is your go-to music service that you use?
Yeah, so I used to use BPM Supreme. That's the record pool,
Hmm.
that I used to use. So definitely like great resource, but I was using that more when I was playing at the bars because um, there's there's not, to my knowledge, there's not a pool service that's like specific to like house and like techno. So BPM Supreme did have some of that, but it was mostly like hip hop and R&B and pop, which was like great to have for when I was playing at bars. Um, but now that I kind of want to focus more on like a specific type of music, I just go on Beatport and just buy it from there. And like that's a website where you can just buy the individual songs. And
So you need to buy songs before you play it on a set?
yeah, you got to pay.
Oh, you gotta tell us more about this. So you have to buy copyright of the song and then play it on your set. It's not like you just go pick a track and then play it on the set. That's not how things
Right.
work.
Yep. So yeah, you have to go buy it. Like I'm gonna be honest, like most DJs and myself, I haven't bought most of my songs. I just rip it from YouTube, use like an
Okay.
MP3 converter. That's like how everyone starts. Like you don't want to pay for music, but you
Definitely.
have to do like some editing for files after that, and it just gets like kind of tedious if you're downloading like 20 or 30 songs, and you have to like rename them because when you convert them, it's like not as clean and the audio quality is not as good. So I just stopped dealing with that and started just like buying them on Beatport. I don't have time to edit, and from Beatport it comes out like crisp, like everything it's named correctly. The it's good quality. So yeah, and most importantly, the artist gets a slice of that.
So another topic that I want to touch was when you say you're DJing, are you into production of new kind of music, or is it always the art and creative process of mixing different types of tracks together?
Yeah. So me personally, I don't like make any live music while I play. Um, there are DJs who do. Like one example is like Carl Cox. But there's different DJs who are actually like making the sounds on the stage, which is crazy. That's like totally next level. Um, and they're like modulating everything, and like they're kind of playing like instruments pretty much, but it's just house music. But I've never done that like a live show like that. But I have messed around a little bit with production using like Ableton, which is one of the standard softwares. But it's pretty hard.
So you are into production as well.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit. Like I've dabbled a little bit. I'm not very serious with it, but it's hard, but it's really cool when you make something that sounds good.
Have you made anything?
Yeah, I have some stuff that's like just little snippets. I don't have like a full song yet, but I have little snippets, but nothing that's released or ready to be released yet.
That sounds very interesting. So any plans of pursuing on that, making it into a complete track?
Yeah, yeah. I think one day I would like to. It's just you really got to sit down and spend a lot of time on it, and it's really you just have to like lock yourself in your room and just get to it. And I don't know, it's a lot of time, but I would like to do it a little bit more and see how far I could take it.
So do you play any other instrument, musical instrument?
So I used to play guitar in middle school, um, but other than that, no.
Is it really necessary to know how to play an instrument for you to start DJing?
I don't think it's necessary, just because you have all the information you need, like on the software. You have like the speed of the song and the musical key. So then it's just like up to you, like to pick songs that work together. But I will say for people like producers, people who like studied piano at a young age, it's definitely like a huge advantage because everything is like based in like or like you just know like musical keys, so you know what works. Like you can hear it versus like the screen telling you. Um, so I think like piano is definitely a big one. I don't know. I don't know like if guitar would be as big of a thing, but piano is like the main one that would definitely have a big impact. I think on production.
Okay. So coming back to the topic of discovering new music, is it always only English music that you play, or you go on searching for any other language as well?
Yeah. So I'm like not. I like all types of music. Like I'm not only focused on English music. Um, I would say as a close second to English music, it would probably be like Latin music and like Latin house, just because it's so close to like Mexico, for example, and then especially in California, there's a huge Latin influence. So I think that's really cool, and you take elements from those different cultures, and kind of they have their own version of like house music. I think it's really dope.
So you don't stick to only English as your preferred language in your set.
Yeah, no, I don't really mind like if I don't understand the words of a song. That's not really like a killer to me. It's more
It's
so
just
just
a
if
vibe.
it sounds good. Yeah.
So when you're playing a set, do you start with any particular song or end with any particular song, or is it always go with the flow kind of energy that you have it going?
Yeah, so usually for the start of a set, I'll start like with something that has a good like build up. Um, like I don't really just like hit play and then you just hear like boom, boom. Like that's just kind of boring. So I'll start with something that has like a cool build up to get the crowd like hyped. And then for ending a set, I'll always play, something that's like a special song to me or like one of those songs that are like my favorite of the month, just so that I can have my fun moment on stage.
So what do you call as a signature element in your sets?
A signature element in my sets. Uh, People make fun of how I dance. I dance like this. I always say it's like handlebars, like I'm riding a motorcycle. But
I wish I
that's
could see that right now.
yeah. Um, but its signature element, I don't know. I'm pretty like quiet on stage. I mean, like you know me outside of like this podcast, so I'm not very loud. I guess I'm pretty like I'm not like on the mic or anything like hyping the people up like that. I really just like to let the music speak for itself. And
I have one weird question. It'll sound very weird, but you're very tall. Is it causing a hindrance when you're playing it on the board? You have to bend a little, and
no, it's totally a fair question. Um, one of my first shows, like on a stage. I think it was my first one. Like the I guess table was so low, so that was something that people were like making fun of me for. Just like they gave me this small table, but definitely like DJing, you're standing a lot, so if you're hunched over, definitely get some like back pain, and just being tall that kind of amplifies that.
Just for reference, tell people what's your height. You are very tall,
Yeah.
man. Like you are too tall.
I've been told I'm too tall. I'm 6'7", so that's
Oh my god.
203. Yeah,
Oh my god,
200.
that's really tall.
Yeah,
So were you into basketballing or something, or is it just really good
you got
genes?
no, you got it. I played basketball a lot growing up. Still do it for fun.
Oh, nice. So who's your favorite basketball player?
Again, like picking a favorite child, but I would say I love I love Jokic. I mean, we share the same first name, Nikola Jokic on the Nuggets. Um, so he's
Okay.
probably my. I feel
Mine
like
is
all
Steph Curry.
years of Steph Curry. Yeah, I love Steph Curry
Yep.
too. I think Steph Curry is probably the best
I
player
mean,
that I've ever seen in my life. Um, so
the way he
really,
puts baskets from almost quarter the court, half the court, crazy.
it's incredible. It's the craziest thing ever. He had the biggest impact on the game, I'd say.
So coming back to DJing, Nico, I have a little more questions on the boards. So when you're playing for a set, do you take your own board or is it provided to you? How does things work?
Yeah, so not all boards are created equally. So, like at most DJs, they'll have a board that's maybe 200 to $1,000, right? That's like standard like home DJ or like low key DJ. But at like actual venues, they'll have the like real professional equipment that is like a mixer and then two things that are called CDJs. Um, so those will
Okay.
go up $6,000, but that's like basically a shiny Ferrari. So I'm always going to go with the shiny Ferrari. If
So
yeah,
when you say $200 to $1,000, what changes from at least the boards that you get to use at home? What actually changes?
yeah. So like a lot of stuff is like build quality. So the cheaper boards will be more plasticky, whereas but it'll be like a cheaper plastic, and then as you go up it'll be just better equipment. The knobs will be um, just more like stronger. Things would it'll feel like you're going back to the
Yeah.
car, like driving a nice car. It just feels good. Versus the other stuff is kind of like a toy maybe.
What about the output? Does it have any effect on the output?
Yeah, definitely. I'm like not a sound engineer, but the cheaper boards will. Uh, I don't think they can. They have RCA outputs, so that's like the white and red little circles. But then the more expensive boards,
Oh yeah.
they
Till now, I thought that was ages ago.
no, yeah, they still have it. So that's like an unbalanced output, and then the more expensive boards will have that. But then they'll also have XLR, which is a balanced output. So that's more for like music equipment. That's what I guess what the standard is. But I don't know much about it.
Switch up a bit and then go with the lifestyle. So talk us through DJing as a lifestyle.
As a
Pretty cool, man.
lifestyle.
At least for me, at least that the way I've seen it, having DJ as your friend at least is pretty cool. So how is it for you?
Yeah, I love it. Um, I think it combines a lot of things that um, you know I admire. So one thing is the music, obviously, but um, and I by any means am not living this lifestyle like other professionals might be. Um, but another thing is the travel. I think just if you can do something you love and travel around the world, travel is something that I love. So that's really cool, and obviously going out and eating nice dinners, and it's definitely a good lifestyle. But I'm a little far from it from that level.
You don't like it or you don't prefer it?
No, I do like it. It's just I'm not famous enough to live it.
Come on. You are pretty famous. At least, you know how I discovered you that you were a DJ? I was just scrolling through your Instagram and I found one of the posts. Just after a little time, I started following you, where you
Yeah,
were standing with a good amount of crowd, and I think three or
yeah,
four of you on the stage lifting your hands. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. And then I
yeah,
clicked on your profile, and then I heard to some of the tracks on your SoundCloud. Pretty dope.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah,
So, one more question on a sensitive topic. How are
yeah,
interaction with girls with you being a DJ? Do you have an added advantage talking to girls?
yeah. I mean, you're kind of the center of attention if you're on a stage, so that's nice. But um, I guess I try not to think about it too much because it can kind of go to your head, and like that's not really why you're DJing, but it's definitely fun. I mean, people want to come into the booth and hang out, so they'll want to party. Basically, everyone's like in a good mood, so that's fun. But it's cool. I think there's you can definitely take advantage of it if you want, but it's not like the main reason why you're doing it. To say it goes with like not just girls too, but guys too would just like want to be your friends because you're the DJ. They want to be back there hanging out with the DJ. So yeah, it's cool. People just kind of like you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would love to have a DJ as a friend. Come on, man, that'll make me look 100x cooler.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a bit of crowd interactions when you've played on your biggest set. How was the crowd there, and how was the crowd interaction?
Yeah, so I would say the crowd interaction was pretty cool. At that one show I was talking about, that festival, um, people were excited to be there. Thankfully, I had a good slot, so there was a lot of people there. So it was people who really wanted to have a good time. So like I said, I try to play music for them sometimes. So that's pretty awesome when you play a song like that people like or have lyrics that are like very popular. That's cool to see. Really, like I've never felt any other source of that much like adrenaline than when like I'm on that stage. So um, it's awesome. But like like I said, I'm not like grabbing the mic and hyping people up. I try to just play the music and smile.
Your music does the talking.
Yes.
So I'm gonna pause you there and ask you, what do you mean by a good slot? That kept me intrigued me.
Yeah. So it goes back to just there's you're at a festival, for example. The DJ at like 2 p.m. is going to have a lot less people than the DJ at 10 p.m. just because people are going to want to go out, more towards the tail end of the day slash night. So this festival, I forgot when it started, but um, I had like 8 or 9 p.m. slot and it ended at like 11. So, definitely a lot of people there who wanted to see like, they're always going to book the most famous DJ at the ending slot. That's just how like festivals go. Whoever's going to the biggest name, they're going to put them like on the main stage. So you want to be as close as possible to that if you
Definitely.
want as many people there. Yeah.
So how long does the duration of each set go on a usual
Yeah.
basis?
So it depends. Like at when I was playing at bars, a typical shift would be like 5 hours or 6 hours. So
Oh my
it would
god,
go.
you used to play for 6 hours straight?
Yeah.
That sounds really tiring.
Yeah. Well, that's like even there's DJs who go for like 12 hours. Like they
Oh
go for
my
like
god.
marathon sets. But yeah, 6 hours. But then like for like the shows that I've done, it'll be like an hour, just because there's like a lot of DJs.
Okay. So do you stop playing at bars, or do you still play at the bars?
Yeah. So currently I don't play at bars. Just don't have a lot of time
Oh,
to do that. But also I don't know if I'd want to just because I'd have to like play pop music. So I'm really just trying to focus on like playing what I like. I don't know if that would really hit at a bar, but would love to play at clubs.
so talk us more about the music festivals that you were referring to earlier. What are these, and how do you get into one of those sets? And
Yeah, so that was something that I did with again just like networking through the bar scene. Um, I think how did I meet this person? I think I just had like a show. Oh yeah, I had a show one night at this venue. Um, it was like my night to promote. So they gave me a time slot. They're like, "Hey, this is your night. Um, Promote it." So I had to, promote it, bring my friends. But this guy was in the crowd who was planning this festival. I didn't know this. So yeah, he was in the crowd, and I guess he liked it. And then I think I ended up just like messaging him because I saw like he was throwing this festival or something, and he was like, "Yeah, I was actually at your show that one time. Like enjoyed it. Would love to like talk more." So then I started connecting with him, and yeah.
Is it the only festival that you played for, or have you played for any other music festival?
So yeah, his that one show was the only like festival I played for. But then I've also done like just like one-off nights. Like maybe there's an artist coming through. So one artist, Noizu, he came to my school, and then I was able to like open for him. So that was pretty cool because he's an artist that I like a lot. So I got to meet him. Um, but yeah, it'll be like the other, not like a festival, but like an artist will have a show and I'll have like the opportunity to open for them. So I did that a couple of times too.
That's cool. So one more sensitive question. So is it like on a friendly basis, or do you get paid?
Oh yeah, so I'll always ask to get paid, just because I'm a hustler. But
Yeah, because you're spending so much time, putting in so much effort.
definitely, yeah, definitely. But it really is a passion. Like I'd always do it for free. So for the bar stuff, like I would always get paid. But then for the shows, like opening for a DJ or doing that, music festival, that was always free, because there's so many other people who would want to do it. So I always ask for money, but
Yeah, I think that's how you get to connect with new people and then get bigger shows, get to be known by
yeah,
the crowd.
yeah, all reinvesting.
So any future collaboration plans with any of the artists or any of the bands?
Yeah, so I don't have anything on the books right now, but I think that would just want to keep playing, see how far I can take it. It's definitely like a fun, just passion of mine, and whether that's just like hanging out at home or doing like house parties, um, definitely something I want to keep doing, just because it's feels good, and it's something that I just enjoy.
On a lighter topic, have you watched this movie We Are Your Friends? It's about
Yeah,
DJ.
of course.
You watched it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a pretty sick movie, and that's how I actually discovered about what DJing is.
Okay. Yeah. So that yeah, I mean that's like
There's this scene where the actor explains how the beats work and how each beat moves
right.
a different part of your body.
Right. Yeah, it's a good movie. Good cast too.
Does it actually work like that, or was it just good for a movie scene?
Yeah, it was more like movie scene, but like a lot of the stuff that they said was like has underlying implications, I guess, like when they're talking about like BPM and like 128 being like the perfect match to the human heartbeat. There's like stuff like, I guess it might be true, but it's definitely like underlying the concepts are there. It's a fun movie,
Definitely.
I gotta say. My
Yeah.
favorite part about the movie is that there's so many like DJ cameos, like real DJs that are in that movie. It's funny
Yeah.
to see that like, actors. Yeah.
So, are there any influential DJs or tracks that makes you come back to DJing, gives you that motivation, sort of?
Yeah. So I would say like again going back to Eric Prydz, really love his music, but there's actually a podcast that I listen to that's ran by a DJ called
Oh,
Akarsh. No, I'm kidding.
you got me there. Oh my god.
No, 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 no. I'm serious. There's a podcast though. It's by a DJ called Will Clark. Um, so he is an English DJ. But it's his podcast is it's on Spotify, but it's really cool because he brings in other DJs. So it's you don't really, I feel like there wasn't really like a platform to see what the industry is like outside of like Instagram, where you just kind of would see the DJs like partying and going to these crazy dinners and you know just doing wild stuff. But there was
Right.
never like really a platform where you could hear like about their day to day and like what they maybe think of all that stuff that they do, and the partying and like their process for making music and just like who they are outside of music. So that's been
Definitely.
something that like I really enjoyed. I listened to it a lot, um, because it's just cool. He'll bring on maybe one of your favorite artists, and you get to hear about their perspective on the industry.
Correct. Definitely. So,
Yeah,
what is your advice to anyone who wants to start DJing from scratch?
yeah. I would say get a board first. So it's a little bit of a significant investment. It's like $200, but you can definitely make it back if you stick with it and start like playing events and stuff. That's like easy money to make back. Um, but I would say that you should just like practice every day for like 30 minutes. It's not even that long. Like 30 minutes could be like 10 songs. You just take your 10 favorite songs. If you're just starting out, like literally just go download your favorite songs and try to mix between them, because that's like you're going to want to listen to those songs, and then you kind of get to see um, how they're like broken down. And since you like know them very well and listen to them a lot, you're like, okay, this like visual representation of what the song looks like makes sense in my head, and that you kind of just learn how to mix it. So yeah, just like practice. It's really just consistency and practice and play what you like.
That's a pretty good advice. So, are there any challenges when it comes to DJing that you
Yeah,
face?
yeah, for sure. Like it's always a bummer when you got a song that you're really excited to play, but the crowd is not excited to hear it. So that's something, but I think it just keeps it like interesting. You have to always be able to shift quickly. So that's fun. What other challenges are there? Yeah, people don't really want to pay you always, but that's okay. There'll be more opportunities. Um,
Definitely.
yeah, and sometimes it could get tiring because like if you're like booked up like back to back, like maybe you'll have a show at like night, like maybe working at the bar till like 2 or 3, and then you're doing like a day party the next day at like noon, or like 1. Then it could be pretty long, but again, it's like not the worst thing in the world, and it's a lot of fun.
Because you're liking what you do.
Exactly.
Considered turning this into a full time thing.
I've definitely thought about it. I like I I don't think about it as much now, but I used to think about it a lot. And I think for me, it's I don't know if I love DJing, but like the only way to get really famous from DJing is through production, music production, making your own songs. And I don't know if that is like the path for me, because I've tried it out and it just feels a little forced sometimes. And I don't know if people will tell you like that's normal when you get started. It's like it'll be very difficult. But I don't know. I'm really interested in the music industry. So I think
Mhm.
maybe one day in the music industry, like on the business side, I think that would be really cool. Um, but like DJing, I don't know, because it's a big risk. And yeah, I don't know if I'd want to take it.
What do you mean business side?
So there's a lot of like stuff that's like that goes like into planning these shows. So um, like if you there's different areas. So there's like running a venue. That's like one thing. So like owning a club, you have to book artists that are going to bring people into your club. You need to
Correct.
have it themed correctly. You need to have a good like ambiance in there. So I think that's pretty cool. That's like nightlife industry. Um, and then the other part is like managing an artist. So you're pretty much their biggest advocate and getting them booked at these clubs, so
Correct.
that um, they can make money
That's
and
the
you can
more
get.
core part of it. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but then even like music technology, like I said, I think is gonna be big. So something in that space. Um, there's a lot of stuff. I think people are always gonna like music. It's something that's been around probably as long as humans have been around, so I don't think it's going anywhere.
Definitely, 100% sure. 100% agree to it. If you're
Yeah,
sad, you listen to music. If you're happy, you listen to music. Motivation, listen to music. You're
yeah,
demotivated, listen to music. At least with me.
yeah. No, definitely. Like it's a constant. So yeah.
While we're talking about music industry, do vinyl plates still exist? And what's your
Do
take
what?
on that as a DJ? Vinyl plates, the big vinyls that used to come.
Oh yeah, yeah. They do still exist. They're not really used as much anymore, just because I've never used them, and this will probably come out very quickly. But yeah, I've never used them, so I think they may have like 10 songs on them. So just imagine like you know it's like this big, and then you have to have for a show you need like I don't know 30 to 50 songs.
Yeah,
Um, so it starts to add up, and you have to carry all that around. Whereas you could just have on a little USB like thousands of songs. Yeah, but there is definitely like a traditionalist aspect to it where people will still do that just for fun, and that's like the classic way to do it.
yeah. That's why I asked you because I was just reading about DJing a bit, just because I'm very new to this. And I was reading all the traditional DJs who would like to play it on a vinyl, and I didn't exactly know what that was and how things are
Yeah,
considered in that perspective. So I just wanted to get your perspective on that.
yeah, no, it's definitely like a skill. I'd say I've never done it, but like I would assume it would be very like I'd feel very out of place doing it because you're lacking that information that's on the screen, like what the song looks like, how much time is left, the BPM. That's the big thing, big difference between vinyl DJing and like digital DJing. You have to actually like listen to the music and like beat match versus being able to see like how fast and seeing the beats line up. Like
Right.
that's something. Yeah.
So have you ever considered making a music video of you DJing sorts? Or is
I'm
it
trying.
already there that I don't know about?
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I have like my own specific like montage video. Um,
Uh-huh.
I I'm definitely in like a couple for like those different events, but and I've got like some like media with my name on it and like flyers and stuff. But I don't have like my own like hype video. I never. I have pictures, but not like a full video.
Oh, that's so cool, man. That's really cool having flyers and all. Sounds really cool.
Yeah, it's cool stuff to remember.
So do you have any dream destination that you would like to play in? Or like a
Yeah,
dream crowd?
yeah. So I actually think about this like probably this week. I've thought about it like once a week, but I or once a day. I think about this a lot.
Oh,
I think for like my 30th birthday, I don't know why it just seems like a big birthday. I even though my birthday's in December, I want to do like a boat party in Ibiza in like the summer, and I want to play it.
oh,
And I have a playlist that I'm building, um, with all like a lot of songs that I'd like to play at that type of event. So um, that's like my dream set is like a boat party in Ibiza, like around 6 7 when the sun starts to set and play until it's done. That would probably be my dream.
any city or destination in mind?
Yeah, I would want to do it in Ibiza in Spain.
Oh, pretty
Yeah,
pretty
that's like,
cool town.
yeah, that's like the capital of DJs. So that's where I'd want to do it. And yeah, I've been once. Really, I liked it. Um, just Mediterranean, like great vibes.
So even if you don't invite me, I'm going to be an uninvited guest in that board party.
I know now. Now you know about it, so you might show up. But I'll save a spot for you next to the booth.
Yeah, definitely. I would love that.
Yeah.
So, Nico, let's move on to a lighter topic. I have a couple of rapid fire questions, so be it is called. So,
Yep.
rapid fire, don't think much, just answer it on the go. So, let's go. Favorite club or venue you've performed at?
Canopy Club in Champaign, Illinois.
Where is that?
That is like
Oh,
2 hours
okay, nice.
ago.
When was
Yeah,
this?
that's where my university was. So uh, that's yeah, it was 3 no 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Any particular reason why it makes the top of the list?
That's like the place where I started playing, like had my first shows. And it's just very nostalgic, I'd say.
Okay, talking about that, so I actually had one more question apart from the rapid fire question. So you've played along so well. So does it become easy with time, or is it
Um,
as difficult as it is was on the day one?
yeah, I think like I still get that anxiety, like even whenever I'm playing in front of a lot of people, I still get that anxiety just because I don't know. I think that's like normal. Um, so that doesn't get easier. That's like I think kind of expected, but I think like just being able to deal with it. Um, but I think the biggest thing is like if you make a mistake, it's not that big of a deal because like most likely the people in the crowd like they don't DJ, so they won't really hear. They'll just think it's part of the show. So you just gotta keep going.
Early morning sunrise set or a late night peak hour set?
Oh,
The one that you would like to play, not based on the crowd, just for you.
yeah, probably early morning sunrise set. I'd say.
No, why is that?
Um, I feel like then you can play like lighter music. Like playing peak hour is definitely like a lot of fun. But
Too much
uh,
bossy, too bossy.
yeah, yeah. But I don't know. Just like the light starts to change. Um, I'd said earlier like sunset set is my dream. So like sunrise would be closest to that, and that's where the real fans are seen since they stayed out all night.
Oh, nice. Okay, the next one. Favorite DJ equipment brand?
Pioneer.
Pioneer. That's nice. I'll have a small story about Pioneer. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you how I discovered about the board that you were talking to. So I'm a big time automobile enthusiast. So in India, how things used to work, at least when I was small, was whenever you buy a new car, the car didn't come with stereo. So you had to get it
Right.
installed separately. And Pioneer and your Sonos, all those were the few of the available things in the
Yeah.
market. And whenever you went out to buy the car stereo of Pioneer, rather even be it an automobile this thing, always they had a music board on their
Yeah.
box. So I
Mm.
was always fascinated by that.
Yeah. They make a lot of stuff. But yeah, I think they're most known for DJs stuff and like audio equipment.
So the board that you have right now, is it from Pioneer or?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So next question, dream collaboration with a music artist?
Ooh, if there's any artist, um, my dream collaboration. This isn't very rapid of me, but I think uh, I think Rufus Du Sol would be a lot of fun. I really like them, um, but they they like they're playing instruments as well. So they have like a drummer. I don't know what one of the guys does, but the other guy's a singer. I feel like they have like a really great understanding of music. So I think working with them would be pretty cool.
Cool. Next one, top three tracks in your current playlist?
Oh, in my current playlist, let me pull
Yep.
it out because there's so much. Um, okay, so this there's an Armin van Helden song called "Anyway." I
Okay.
just found out about it last week. It's awesome. And then "Bang" by Eric Murillo and Harry Romero. And it's the Harry and Eric "Bang in Your Face" mix. Um, a long name there. And then "Tilted" by Hot Since '82 are like my three favorite songs right now.
Nice. The next one, favorite city or country that you want to perform in, apart from
Uh,
Ibiza, of course?
yeah, so that's one. The other one would be probably Belgrade in Serbia because that's where my family's from. So
Oh
I'd
yeah.
love to. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were a native.
Yeah. So I'm born in America, but both my parents are from there, and I go there a lot just to see like my grandparents. So playing
Okay,
in Belgrade, pretty awesome.
cool. Next one. Do you have any pre-gig ritual or superstition?
Pre-game ritual. Usually, I'll like have just like one drink before I go on stage. Just like hang out at the bar, um, just like to relax a bit. But like, it's definitely not something I need. I've definitely been running late to a show and just have to hop on stage. Um, but yeah, just try to like relax, hit the gym that day, just feel good.
So there's no superstition related you before
No,
playing a set.
I don't like wear like special socks or anything.
So coffee or drink or energy drink before you do a set, which is the you go to one?
So I don't drink too much caffeine, but I'd probably do coffee then.
If it's a drink, what drink do you prefer?
Oh, I keep it pretty simple, just like vodka soda lime or um, yeah, whiskey coke. I know I said I didn't really drink caffeine, so now I sound like a liar, but yeah, whiskey coke is the hit.
The classic. Okay, the next one. Most unusual or unexpected source of musical inspiration for you?
Oh, that's a great one. Um, I think like nature. Sometimes like if it's like it doesn't really happen as much like watching a documentary. I think you have to like go see it. But
Hmm.
sometimes I feel if you like have a beautiful, landscape that you're looking at and you pull out the right song, it can really make the moment, a lot more special.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So the next one. What is the craziest thing that you've seen at a festival? The craziest.
Yeah, that's a good one. Um, yeah, that was bad. I've seen people, doing the typical, just like making out. They gotta and doing more. Um, fights, you know, typical stuff when people are out. Um, but yeah, people like just getting hurt or doing dumb stuff, but nothing like to stand out. It's just there's always going to be people who are making a fool out of themselves. Unfortunately,
Very sad.
not
Very
to say that I've
unfortunate.
been there before. Yeah,
So, okay, the next one. In-ear monitors or over-the-ear headphones?
I am over the ear because um, I like it that it's easy just to like take off. You can like take the headphones off and like just wear them in a cool way. So, um, yeah,
I think that answers my one of the question as to why in all the DJs that I've seen always wear an over-ear headphones. I've never seen any DJ wearing an in-ear earphones.
yeah, yeah. There's a couple who do, not many though. Like I'd say it's like 90% wear over the ear. But I think it's just like a long-standing tradition, and I don't know. It like if you're playing like a smaller venue, I feel like if you have
Hmm.
in the ear head, you can't really hear as much like what's going on outside. Whereas with the
Yeah,
headphones, you can take it off. So
definitely. So the
yeah,
last question, again, I think it turns back to one of the questions previously asked. But sunrise or sunset, your favorite time to play,
definitely sunset.
and your favorite time to listen. Two different questions.
Ah, yeah. So first part is definitely sunset, um, because it's still you get part of that daytime uh, lighting, but it's like the sun is setting. It's about to be nighttime. Like whole slew of nighttime opportunities. Like it's gonna be a great night. You got your friends going out. I think like the anticipation. That's something that is it's fun. So I think that's why like sunset is fun. Um, but then favorite time to listen to music. Um, Probably like some days I just if I'm feeling great, like I'll wake up and just like right away just start playing something high energy if I'm feeling good.
Mhm.
But yeah, I listen to a lot of music, like probably 2, 3, 4, 5 hours a day.
Oh, that's really a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't see a lot of recommendations from you on Instagram or anything. Why is that? Because I
Yeah.
would die to listen to new music or recommendations from you.
Yeah. I don't post like too many recommendations. I think I've only done it like 2 or 3 times, but I'll only do it if it's like what's it called? If it's a song I really like. But unfortunately, a lot of the songs I really like are unreleased, so I can't post them.
Oh, we're gonna miss out on that.
I know. You got to come to the party.
Yep. Where can people listen to you if at all they want to listen to you? And is there any place that you go out and play at in your free time, of course?
Yeah, yeah. So I would say if you want to listen to my mixes or just see what kind of music I'm listening to, just check out my SoundCloud, Niko Arsic. That's Niko space Arsic. Um, that's
Link in the
where,
show notes.
yes, yep. And that's where you'll be able to, see what I'm listening to lately, just in my likes, and then any mixes that I post.
Was this your first podcast or have you done any before?
So this was my first podcast,
Oh,
but I've listened to a lot of podcasts. So I was actually thinking before before we got started, I was like, I wonder what we're going to talk about. Well, I was like, oh, I have nothing to worry about because I've listened to so many podcasts, so I know what to do.
definitely. It was definitely fun talking to you. How was your experience?
No, I loved it. I think it's definitely cool. I'm big on podcasts, so it's awesome to like finally be a part of one and with someone that I know as well. Great experience.
So, what kind of podcast do you listen to? Is it always the DJ that you're referring to that podcast, or is there anything else like Joe Rogan, the classics?
Yeah, so I listen to that DJ, and then Joe Rogan is like big percentage of my time listening to podcasts. That's like a classic one. Um, but then I also listen to this one podcast called How I Built This, and it's a
Okay.
NPR podcast, basically bringing in like founders of companies. So like big companies like DocuSign, Duolingo, um, just listening to how they built their companies. So I think it's kind of cool.
No, pretty cool. I would love to listen to that.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good one, and it's like pretty well done since it's NPR. Um, yeah,
So, on that note, let's wrap this episode. Thanks a lot, Nico. Thanks a lot for doing
yeah,
this, taking up the time. I hope you had
yeah,
fun as much as I did talking to you.
yeah, definitely. No, thank you so much for having me on. It was, like I said, an honor and a pleasure to be on. So I think this is a great forum to have different conversations like these. Yeah. So thank you very much.